Moments of Pleasure, Kate Bush, from the new album Director's Cut. It's about 6 years since the last album. What have you been doing since then? What's been going on?
Well, I suppose most people think I've probably spent 6 years making the album. And it does always take me a long time, but I've kind of just been having a life as well.
Well, that's the thing. People always think, somebody, this happened to several writers, hasn't it? J.D. Salinger, for one, he's a recluse. Well, no, he's not. He's actually out there in the world. He's just not doing what the press perhaps expect him to do. And that's very much the life you want to lead, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose really I don't live the life of a famous person. I was never really driven to be famous. Even from a young age, when I knew I wanted to be involved in music, it was really making an album. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to try and make interesting music. So I think, my values have always remained the same.
But it's so different to the values of so many people today, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I think it's a shame in a way, really, that the kind of celebrity culture makes life so difficult in a way for people who perhaps are on television. I mean, there's a lot of talented people who are very famous because they're on television, and, it's just a job, isn't it?
It should be.
Yes, it should be.
For many people, it seems fame is all they want. They don't necessarily want to have to do anything for it. They don't want to have to make that album or be able to sing or dance or do whatever. They just want to be famous.
Yes.
That's something that's certainly probably when, you were young was less important than it seems to be today.
Yes, I think that's a very good point, actually. I mean, I think it has become very much a part of our culture, which, when I was young and thinking about starting in the music business, it like you say, it really didn't have the same kind of sheen.
Now, Director's Cut, you've revisited some of the tracks of the past. Is that a difficult thing to do? Is it something you think, they should be left the way they are, or do you think, no, I can do something else with these songs?
Well, I don't think I could really say I've ever really been that happy with anything I've done. I think you were at the time, and, I always try my best and, put lots of effort into the albums. Oh, there's a goose just flying over.
Very nice, too. North, I hope, rather than south. Otherwise, we're in for a bad summer.
But yeah, I mean, I just thought that with those two albums that, going back to what we were saying earlier about analogue tape, Red Shoes was recorded with digital equipment. At the time, it was state-of-the-art, what everybody was kind of pressurised to be using, really. But in hindsight, I felt that it had a very edgy sound. And I still remain a huge admirer of analogue tape and, that warm, fuller sound that you get. So in revisiting the tracks from that album, one of the first things that we did was transfer everything back onto analogue tape. So one thing I'm pleased with these tracks is that they all do have that much warmer sound from analogue.
You've got a studio here at home. Is it important to you to get into that? Do you have a sort of regime where you do 9 till 1 every day in the studio, or do you just wait until the muse strikes?
I do go in sort of Monday to Friday when I can, and what's really nice, and I'm very privileged to be able to do so, is that I can make it work around my family life, because it's very important for me to spend time with my family and my son, and I don't have to commute to work like a lot of people do, so I can make that work around the family, and I suppose in some ways now I treat it much more like a kind of job, something I had to learn to do, because, before I had my son, we didn't really have the same kind of commitments.
Yeah. Well, your son's involved in the record.
Yes, he is, yeah.
What exactly did he do?
Well, he sings the part of the computer program in Deeper Understanding, and originally on the song I wasn't able to have the technical equipment to make a computerised voice. All there was a vocoder back in those old days.
Oh, Sparky's Magic Piano, isn't it?
Well, there you go. What an incredible track. Well, what I really wanted to do was have a single voice rather than a group, which was on the original recording. I used a bank of backing vocals and a vocoder, whereas now what I could do was just use a solo voice and computerise it. And I felt that somehow it was more poignant if it was the voice of a child, that this kind of benevolent spirit in this computer program is quite sort of innocent, really. So that's how he got the part.
After heavy auditions, I'm quite sure.
Well, it's a shame because he does have a really lovely singing voice, and we completely ruined it by sticking it to a computer.
For the next album, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Tell me about touring, because you really haven't done for a long time. You haven't been out in front of the public. Is that deliberate, or is it just something that hasn't quite happened?
No, I mean, it's just because I've become a recording artist, really. I mean, I've got to be careful here because I've been doing quite a few interviews and everybody's asked me about that. And then I've kind of said, well, you know, it's because people think I didn't enjoy the original tour. And then I go on to say, well, actually, I did. And then they say, oh, does that mean you're touring again? So I've got no plans to tour at all.
So it's not because you hated touring?
No, it wasn't. No, it was really fun. It was really exciting. But I kind of got absorbed into the whole recording process and got much more involved in that. So that's kind of, you know, what happened.
Well, what are the plans, the recording plans?
So I'm working on a new album. I went more or less straight from finishing this one into a new one. So it's quite nice to be able to stay in that creative space. You know, it's quite hard to get the kind of focus and space that you need to be able to do that in... well, we all have such busy lives, don't we? Trying to create that kind of space is much harder now, don't you think?
Well, absolutely, for everybody. But I think here, what you've got is, you know, the perfect sort of peace and quiet tranquility here to enable you to do the work you want to do. Does this surrounding very much help you?
Yes, it does. I think, you know, we're very lucky to find such a lovely place. And again, a privilege, really, to be able to work from home.
Well, it's a beautiful day to be out here. I'm sorry if we're keeping you from your work and we're stopping you creating in the studio there. But thank you for having us here. It's been a joy.
Well, it's a pleasure. And can I say you've just got the best radio voice.
Oh, God bless you.
And it's been lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
Can I just say... Thank you so much for all the support that you and your producer have given the single, because it was not an obvious choice as a single at all. And everyone has told me how supportive you've been of it. So thank you very much for that.
As soon as we played it, we had the most massive response. So people wanted to hear it, and they still do. And here it is. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Deeper understanding.
As the people here grow colder, I turn to my computer and spend my evenings with it like a friend. I was loading a new program I had ordered from a magazine. I am lonely, I am lost. This voice console is a must. if you was up to me. You and I, if it was up to me. It ain't never if it was up to me. Bring me deeper understanding. Bring me a little black box.
Deeper Understanding by Kate Bush. The perfect hostess she was to us at her lovely home in the country, and very nice to see her. She's living such a pleasant life and happy down there and having a great time, making good music.
Kate, have you checked the teaspoons? Seriously.
Jeremy Vine is laughing. We're having a party in here today. Everybody's in here. It's a Radio 2 Christmas party, a little late.
Jeremy Vine has taken over my